Perhaps you've seen it, maybe in a dream, a murky, forgotten land. A place where souls may mend your ailing mind. You will lose everything once branded, the symbol of the curse, an augur of darkness. Your past, your future, your very light. None will have meaning, and you won't even care. By then, you'll be something other than human. A thing that feeds on souls, a hollow. Long ago, in a walled-off land far to the north, a great king built a great kingdom. I believe they called it Drang Lake. Perhaps you're familiar. No, how could you be? But one day, you will stand before its decrepit gate without really knowing why. Like a moth drawn to a flame, your wings will burn in anguish, time after time. For that is your fate, the fate of the cursed.
What seems to be the ruckus?
Oh my, your face. The face of the curse. It's an undead. An undead has come to play. They all end up here. All the ones like you. You spoke to that kind old dear, didn't you?
You're finished. You'll go hollow. Yes, you'll become one of them.
Hollows prey upon men, feast upon their souls. This is the fate of the cursed.
What is your name? At least you know your own name. Here's your reward. for sharing. It's a human effigy. Take a closer look.
Who do you think it's supposed to be?
Think back, deep into your past. Yes, it's an effigy of you.
Yeah, now it should be. Oh no. See, this is what I mean by, hey everybody. Now it's working. Yeah, now it's working. I should have checked that from the beginning. I'm really, really sorry. Welcome everybody. Yeah, this is not what it should have been like. So I talked a whole lot and didn't actually talk. Interesting. Why the fuck does the PlayStation 5 actually just mute your audio? Well, not a big deal. I mean, we haven't really started the game at this point. I can just, you know, if I'm doing a highlight stream at some point, but now it should actually, let me try it. And now it should broadcast my audio again, right? I should have checked that in the beginning. I didn't. Yeah, it does. Alright. So do I have to check that every time? Let me just get back into the settings here. I mean, at least we didn't really do all that much. That's weird, why it has that option here. I don't know why I did that. Well, whatever. That was over 1 hour of me talking and nobody hearing it. Great. I like things like that. Well, I expected as much, to be completely honest, with a new console and with new settings and whatever. No, I don't want to have a wide nose. Well, this is changing the whole face. That's weird. Ratio of nose to forehead. I think I like it better like this. Facial width. Bit of a wider face. Make it a bit rounder. Oh, not that much. Vertical spacing. This is not putting things up. Descriptions of these are a bit weird. Horizontal spacing. I think this looks a bit more natural. Glabella width? What the hell is that? Oh. Haven't heard that term before, to be honest. But that's fine. Cheekbone height. Probably want to put that a bit higher. Depth. Spread. Bit of a rounder face, not that much. I mean, this looks weird, but I still have to make some adjustments. It's a bit too much. No, this looks like a bit too much of a big face, but I probably need to adjust eyes and stuff. Chin tip depth. Let's put that back a little bit. This already looks a lot better. Jaw breadth. Make that a bit narrower. Yeah, that already looks a lot better. Somewhere around here, I think. It doesn't really look like me, but but I mean, I still want to. Holy hell! Okay, I have that. I don't want to. I mean, they are kind of fine. Let's narrow them just a tiny bit. Like this, probably. This looks good. I definitely need to adjust the eyes a little bit. Oh, that's kind of fine. It's also fine. Eye position is good, but let's make them a bit bigger. Just a tiny bit. The angle is weird. Yeah, this looks better, I think. Yeah, like that. It's already a lot better. What is this? Socket color. Oh, you can adjust them individually. Eyelid color. Oh, that's fine. Alright, nose rich color. Can be a bit redder. Upper protrusion. Yeah, that needs to come in a lot, I think. That might be a bit too much. Right, let's go with this. This needs to come in a lot. His nose was way too big before. Let's do it this way. Rich depth. Length. Tip height. It's not the height of the tip. What? Yeah. Put down a tiny bit, and then oh, this is fine, I think. Nostril angle. That looks a lot more natural, to be honest. Though it's a bit much. Now it's a bit too small. I think I need to go back here and adjust the maybe this. Rich depth. Wait, Nah, that's not good. It's actually quite hard to adjust. Somewhere around there, I would think. Yeah, that looks good, to be honest. More like that, and then what is occlusion? Oh. Not that much. That's fine. Oh, I liked it where it was before. I'm quite alright with this at this point. Mouth expression, whatever that is. Mouth slant. Didn't really do that much, to be honest. It's not perfect where I want to get it, but it's okay. Face is just a tiny bit too wide, I feel like. Don't really want to go back to that adjustment though. Outline. Oh. I think I'm actually quite alright with this. The only thing, let's see, relative nose, ratio of nose. Maybe if I bring this in just a tiny bit. Like this. Just want to reduce the roundness a tiny bit. I think this is already better. Probably not worth actually spending this much time in character creation like this, but I quite like my design. It's a bit, I don't know, the head shape in general is just the problem, but I don't think you can really adjust that. Yeah. I mean, compared to the body form, it's not perfect. I don't know why you have to have charred genitals. I don't know why that's a thing, but I mean, it doesn't really look like me. I could maybe get it closer to myself, but at this point, I don't really. I think it's like a healthy in between of a fictional character and myself, right? It definitely looks a lot more, I guess, Nordic, and maybe also a bit stronger in general, a bit more, not necessarily masculine, but definitely a bit more like, well, like a tough guy compared to myself. So I think that's a good thing because, you know, it looks like it does look like a cross between myself and a fantasy character, to be completely honest, which I think is pretty good. So let's go with this. Yes.
All people come here for the same reason. To break the curse.
Okay.
You're no different, I should think.
So as I suspected, that's why we're here.
Doesn't stand a chance.
Well, you never know.
I wonder if that dialogue changes based on your class. Probably not, though.
Go through the door and trot along to the kingdom.
But remember, hold on to your souls. They're all that keep you from going hollow. Oh, I'll fool you no longer. You'll lose your souls. All of them. Over and over again.
Interesting that they mention the basic game mechanic in a conversation like this. So, what does that mean exactly? They're expecting us to lose our souls over and over again. So for some reason we just stripped naked in front of them? Apparently? Because where did our clothes from before go? Do we still have those in our... And we do. See, that's what I like. Because they look cool. Do like the travel clothes. So I guess we could still go back and fight that ogre thing. Okay, you don't have to laugh quite as sinister. Insert sinister laugh here, I guess. So, oh, whoopsie. They still don't give us a weapon though, right? No. Okay. So had we chosen a class with a weapon at this point, we'd be able to go back and fight that ogre troll thing? Wait, I can only talk to one of them? Oh no, I can't talk to them. Oh, I'm in my menu. I'm an idiot. That's weird.
You must go on a journey without rest.
Okay.
Well, I suppose if you find yourself at an arm pass, but if
Interesting.
your will is yet unbroken, then you may return here to start again with a clean slate.
Okay, so if we want, we can, I guess you can reset your stats here or something? Considering that you can probably, I don't know, invest in stats that you might not want at a certain point, that means you can come here and well, literally clean your slate, I guess. Okay. And who are you? You look kind of cute.
This is a limbo. A link between Drangleic and the outer world.
You sound a lot
Fair traveler,
older.
I know that you must have a story. Why else would you visit such a place? This lost, decayed kingdom.
Once again, why is this such a separate place? So this place is a world that you can't just visit. And this seems to be a link between the kingdom we're trying to go to and the outer world. But why does it seem like we're visiting some sort of hell place or something, right? Why would it be just why would it be disconnected from the rest of the world, I guess is what I'm asking. Because just thinking about this, it seems like the outer world is actually a quote-unquote normal world. Probably a world where magic and stuff still exists. And apparently a world where you can get cursed. But why is this decrepit kingdom that they're talking about separate from the normal world? Does it have some kind of magical barrier? So does it physically exist in the normal world and it's just separated from it by some form of magic? Or is it literally in a different sort of dimension, right? There's a lot of different possibilities here that they're not really revealing just yet. And also, well, I mean, if it's another dimension, a lot of different rules would apply, I guess, right? Or maybe it's literally just a physical separation. So maybe this cave structure that we're in just separates the kingdom from the larger outside world. Considering we seem to be jumping into a dark pool of death at the start of the game, though, I have a feeling we're actually in some sort of dimension. Alright, let's see what's in here then, huh? Oh! So we have 2 of these now. Technically, shouldn't we have 3 of them? Because we already got one in the cutscene as well. Human effigy. A warm, soft, shadow-like effigy. Warm. Use this item to reverse hollowing. It also weakens the links to other worlds, preventing invasions and most cooperation. Peer closely at an effigy, and one begins to perceive a human form. But whose form it takes depends on the person looking. So, wait. Use this item to reverse hollowing. I suspect that if you die, you probably turn hollow, right? And you can use this to undo that. It weakens the links to other worlds, meaning that if you're not hollow, the likelihood of you being invaded or to cooperate with someone is lower? Isn't that the exact opposite of how it works in the first game? Maybe? Or am I misremembering that? Because it feels like in the first game, you could only be invaded if you were human, right? If you restored your humanity. Because I was never really invaded in the first game. That's because, well, at some point I died and I just didn't bother to restore my humanity because I didn't really know why I would do that. I think the only reason why I ever restore humanity in the first game is to kindle bonfires, right? But again, if you die once, so it seems like it's different in this. We'll see, I guess. I would like it to be like this item suggests that it is, because that would mean that dying would increase the likelihood of you being invaded. Right? Which I feel like is a very Dark Souls-like mechanic. that was also something in the first game that I was quite unsure about. Maybe I missed something? I don't know. Interesting that they still don't give you a weapon. I wonder where you get the first weapon from if you're starting as a deprived. Because I for sure thought that there would still be a weapon here somewhere. Or something that you could use to try to fight that ogre thing. But, I mean, if they said that we're able to continue here to clean our slate, maybe we're also able to continue here to fight the ogre? Interesting that you can't talk to her twice. Oh, no, you can. I'm just
My
letting
name
in.
is Millibeth.
Oh.
The old women were once firekeepers.
Oh.
I am here to look after them.
But why?
It is what my mother did, and her mother before her, and so on.
So she's not related to them, she's looking over them, and her family did that the whole time. So they are old firekeepers.
No, go along, go along.
I don't know that much about firekeepers from the first game.
The old women were keepers of the fire. But now, the fire shows signs of fading.
Well, that's what it always does in Dark Souls, doesn't
And the
it?
kingdom is beset by hollows. The old women are sisters. I am told there was a fourth.
Uh-huh.
Long ago, firekeepers were commonplace. But now they are lost, scattered to the winds. The old women are sisters. Long ago, but now.
So there was a fourth one here. But her dialogue suggests that there are a lot more firekeepers out there somewhere, or were at some point, and just aren't anymore. I mean, I want to start at this point. I hope we can actually come back to this place. That would be really cool. Whoa. It's really dark here. So this is a cave. Wait, do I have to... What? Why can I not pick up the item? What the hell? Why is there a dead person there anyways? Alright, let's examine this. Bonfires are places of respite. You may also light torches on them. There's a giant tombstone-looking thing that tells me that? Okay. Bonfire lit. Burn. Item box. At least the interface is also a lot better than in the first game. God, the first game has an awful interface. Like a really awful one. This actually utilizes the screen space that you have. No spells. Select item to burn. I have a feeling that's a mechanic that will come in at some point. Things betwixt. So the in-between world. If we can... so fast travel seems to be existing right from the get-go in this game. That was also something that I wasn't really sure about in the first Dark Souls, right? In a way, I like that you don't start with fast travel in the first game. It's just weird that they even introduce it later. I felt like the first Dark Souls would be a lot more interesting if it didn't have fast travel at all. It also seems very random which bonfires you can fast travel to and which ones you can't. So the reason why I like that fast travel exists in the first game is because I'm not a big fan of a lot of the areas, especially later ones. And it would be really annoying and boring to having to go through them all the time. But especially with the first areas of Dark Souls 1, I would say that it does indeed. There is a certain kind of feeling that it invokes. Being in Blighttown, for example, and knowing that Firelink Shrine is very, very far away, right? It's a very cool thing that I just feel like wasn't. The reason why fast travel exists at all in the first Dark Souls is because I feel like they noticed that, especially with a lot of the later areas, it would have been quite boring to having to go through them multiple times. But I feel like with a better world design or better level design, a Dark Souls game where you can't fast travel would be pretty cool. This one has fast travel. I don't know. So, because I'm not a big fan of a lot of the areas in the first game. A lot of them have a lot of problems in terms of their design, in my opinion, and that's why I was grateful that fast travel existed in the first game. But still, the beginning of the game and sort of the better levels of Dark Souls 1, I feel like do show that with a very good level design, you can have a game like this without fast travel. But this screen existing, I think, suggests that we can literally just fast travel back here every time we want. Hopefully. Oh! So I can break it. Soul of a lost undead and a torch. You think the soul already lets me level? Probably, right? Used to acquire souls. The soul is the source of all life, and even in undeath or hollowing, the mind seeks souls. Suggesting that everybody seeks souls. And we got a torch. Wait, why doesn't it... Is it here somewhere? Where's the torch? Wait. Yeah, the belt slots are your equipable items. Is the torch somewhere in a special place, or... Wait. Am I missing something? Is that a... Oh! It just... I have 5 minutes of torch now. Okay. Cool, I guess? What's the button for torch, though? This is gestures. With the touchpad, you just go into inventory. I don't know what this does. I hope the game will tell us at some point how to use a torch. Fog wall. Ooh, can fall down here apparently. A lot of fog walls with torches. Into the mist. Is this like a level selection? I have a feeling I'm supposed to light this. I just don't know how. There isn't any other button though. Oh, that's two-handing. Ah, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Well, something just died. Huh. Okay, cool. Am I missing something? Doesn't tell you the control scheme though, right? For some reason. Am I not meant to light these yet? Why do I have a 5-minute torch and I'm not able to? I mean, this does seem like a tutorial section, right? So maybe I just want to enter the mist. I feel like there's an enemy here. Yeah, it looks like an enemy. Oh, I guess these stones are your tutorial or attack our weapon. What are you? Are you just a hollow? Wow! I'm actually fairly strong with my fists. Didn't expect that. Target lock release. Well, target lock change target. Well, yeah, that's your usual. There are places to light here. I wonder why they're not telling me how to use the frickin' torch. Or did I miss something? I can just go out here, right? Oh! Well, yeah, I definitely missed something. So, okay. And can I just put it away? That extinguishes it, right? And now I have... Wait. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. See, this is really easy to miss. Which is not a good thing. It's not good design. I do like the lighting. That's really cool that you can have a torch like this. I remember that, there was a mechanic like this. Hold. Dash, yeah, okay. Like a torch mechanic. And I remember somebody saying that it wasn't really utilized all that well. Can I attack with it? No, I can't. Okay. I can block with it. Okay. Interesting. Oh, there's another one of them. Am I supposed to backstab him, or... I wonder if these will be permanently lit once you do it, even if you die. Critical hit. Oh, yeah. Ugh. Wait. Did I just attack him like in Bloodborne? Like in... What was it called? Something attack? They're really a fan of these large structures, aren't they? Probably should put this away as long as I'm talking about this. So this is definitely reminiscent of in the Hunter's Dream and Bloodborne. You also have these large pillar-like structures. Obviously, these look a lot more natural compared to the ones in Bloodborne, but it's definitely sort of a running theme, I have a feeling. Now I can just relight the torch. So I guess if you fought the first ogre, now this would sort of be your second chance at fighting it. I guess that's my final enemy for this sort of tutorial area. Yeah, I wonder if these are permanently lit, even if you die. Don't really want to try it out at this point, but it'd be definitely interesting to know. Who are you? A dagger. Nice. So, like, first impression of the torch mechanic is that I really, really like it. But not entirely sure if that's going to stay this way. So I'm definitely supposed to fight him, I guess. Equipment. Let's see. Dagger. A standard dagger. Has only modest attack and short reach, but can be jabbed in rapid succession. With a powerful critical attack, this is a potent weapon in the hands of the capable. Slash thrust. 57 damage. What's the other stuff? Scales B with dexterity, casting, shot range, poise damage, and counter strength. Okay. That's a few. Okay. 10 poise damage. Yeah, so the stats... Again, this is just the first impression, but the stats seem a lot more clear in this one. Or, well, a lot more is probably a bit too much, but, you know, it's interesting because poise isn't really explained at all in the first game. There's also no stat attached to it or anything. So, actually having a stat... So, I don't know what this means, obviously, right? 10 poise, does it mean if my enemy has less than 10 poise, he's going to stagger? That's what it would suggest, right? Although 10 poise seems like a lot, maybe, considering I have how much? 1.8. Oh, I can still... Okay. I also have a strong attack. Who are you? Roll. Okay. I wonder if this is the fastest roll that you can have in this game. Oh. Interesting. Oh yeah, that's really, really fast. Whoa. Where did you come from? I like the stabby stab. That's really fast. Alright, let me light the... Yeah, so the only thing that this torch mechanic is obviously making a bit more difficult is that I really, really like to spend my time looking around the environments and figuring stuff out and everything, right? And obviously having a timer on your torch makes that a bit more annoying. But then again, I mean, you don't have to have the torch out all the time. Yeah, I can switch it off. I don't know if I'm going to continue with the dagger, but I do like how fast it is. The blur effect, I think there's object motion blur, but not very good motion blur. Yeah, that looks very weird, right? I mean, you can see sort of there's like a streak that the weapon leaves behind, but it doesn't look natural at all. I guess I can forgive it for that. But the torch mechanic honestly reminds me of something like in Zelda, right? Which, again, I like that. It's very, very cool. Also sort of tracks your progress, and it makes fire in general something that the player is a lot more connected to, I guess. Because even though the bonfires play and fire in general plays a very big part in the Dark Souls universe, right? I never felt like I actually had a deeper connection to the bonfires or anything in the first game at all. I mean, yes, of course, it's great to find a bonfire, and, well, it's sort of your safe place, but it feels much more like, well, I mean, obviously it's a game mechanic, right? But it does feel much more like, I don't know. Like it does feel like your safe place, but at the same time you're not really connected to it as a place of fire, of warmth, right? Everything that's connected. So it's not really, it's just, all right, yeah, this is my safe spot, and this is where I can repair and fast travel and get Estus back and all that kind of stuff, right? It does not, or it is not connected to it being a fire, being warm, being or lighting up the environment or stuff like that, right? So this already makes you connected to the theme fire a lot more than it does in the first game. But again, you know, this is the tutorial area of the game, so I don't know whether or not the torch mechanic will be annoying or interesting later on. Backstep, all right. Is another archer? Oh no, that's, I guess one of them is an archer and the other one has a dagger. Oh, he still hit me. I like that the cave is really dark. I hope it's not too dark on stream, but I mean, it does make sense, right? Life gem. What the heck is that? Oh, so that's the tooth-looking thing. Slightly restores HP. Small stone made up of crystallized souls gradually restores a small amount of HP, often found near abandoned corpses as if it were with remains of the soul. Okay. So I definitely want to equip that. I wonder how many of those you can find throughout the game. Because, well... Can I not... Oh, I always forget to actually get out of the menu. It also teaches you to use an item. So that's kind of interesting, right? They definitely expect you to get hit here. And, well, I was. I don't want to use it just yet. One thing that I like is that you have an HP restoring item like this, and I hope that it's quite common throughout the game. I do like the Estus mechanic in Dark Souls 1 as sort of a mechanic that limits your progress in a way. Or, well, it doesn't really limit your progress, but it's definitely a resource, right? And if you get hit a lot, if you know, you need to use a lot of Estus. Well, I mean, in a way, it's a neat mechanic, right? It's an interesting mechanic, and I feel like for boss fights, especially for boss fights, the Estus mechanic is pretty cool, right? Because if you have essentially an infinite amount of healing items, boss fights can become trivial, right? Or you have to introduce one-shotting mechanics and stuff like that, which is not really good game design in general, in order to combat unlimited healing items. But at the same time, just overall world traversal, in my opinion at least, doesn't feel that great if you have a very limited resource on healing items. I don't know. I like that there are items like this in the game. Obviously, you know, remains to be seen how much there will be, how easy they are to get, how expensive they are. And obviously, I haven't even tested how much they heal. So, but just in general, I like that these life gems exist. That being said, though, is there like let's see. There doesn't seem to be like a maximum capacity or anything, right? Because in Sekiro, for example, beyond your normal healing gourd, there's also the pellets and stuff that you can heal with as well. But you can only, I think you were only able to carry 3 of these or something in your inventory at all times. So that's also going to be interesting. And one other thing, what is the mist supposed to be? I wonder. Move camera. Oh yeah, that's a very late point where they tell you that you can move your camera.
You,
Oh.
smooth.
Why?
Yes, you. Give us silky.
Aren't they introduced a lot later in the first game? Give us smooth. Do I have to go back to make them say that again, or?
You. Give us smooth. Yes, you. Give us silky.
Are they talking about the same item? So smooth and silky? I mean, you would think that this thing might be silky. This thing might be smooth. I mean, I don't know if I really need the life gem. I have 2 of these. Can I leave?
You. Give us smooth.
Discard.
Yes, you. Give us silky.
Discard selected. What is leave? Leave how many? 1. Okay. Do I have to, because I think you usually have to like rest at one fire or something, or even log out of the game and log back in for them to take it and return something. I mean, I can just return here at some point. Let's leave it there and see whether or not they actually...
You. Give us smooth.
Yeah, I already put something in. Let's see if that works. Oh, wait. In order to get that item, you actually have to jump down to it. And you also... Oh, that's... I mean, it's not really necessary to light all the torches. I wonder how easy or hard it is to get a torch back. Soul of a Nameless Soldier. I think that's a larger one, right? Yeah. Okay, doesn't say anything else. Oh. Light scones with a torch. Is this a scone? Wait, sorry, I have to check that. Not a native English speaker. A scone? Scone. Wait. What are you... Wait! What are... Isn't a scone something to eat? Scones. Or is it scones? Or scones? Scones with another C? Oh. Yeah. Scones? Scones? So it's a wall lamp, essentially. Or some kind of lamp. I mean, yeah, that was... I did figure that out on my own. Alright, so that's the ladder that we came from. Oh, I can just continue here. So, yay! First tutorial area done. And I definitely need to remember to come back here for the smooth and silky, whatever that means. I mean, it could be a life gem. Could literally just be a life gem. Could also be something else. Wield right weapon two-handed. That will extinguish the torch, right? Wield left weapon to... Oh, hold. Okay. Holy shit, that's a lot more effective. I thought. Or maybe not? Interesting that you can two-hand both by holding. So it's seemingly still as fast as before. Should have brought my torch with me. Yeah, that's... I don't know. These are very close together, but we're in the tutorial area, right? So... I don't know if this is going to be annoying at some point. Again, I also wonder what happens if the torch just runs out. I mean... Uh-oh. Am I meant to jump over that? Is that the reflection of the item? I suppose it is. Interesting that they actually have a tutorial for jumping in this, because I think the first game certainly doesn't have that. Demon's Souls doesn't have it either, I think. What? Guard break. What? Yeah, no. L plus R1 L1. No idea what that's supposed to be. R1 while falling, plunging attack. Alright. With shield equipped, parry, repel enemies attack. Yeah. Well, that I know. Is this where we continue? I have a feeling it doesn't actually continue onwards. And you can slide down ladders. Well, that makes sense at least. Whoa, that's still really scary. Amber Herb 2. That's kind of cool, right? You're supposed to jump over and then discover, oh, wait, there's a ladder there. I mean, it seems really safe actually jumping over it, but at the same time, it's still quite scary. Amber herb slightly restores spell uses. Okay. Very interesting. So I guess I should be able to climb the ladder with the torch. No. You're not able to do that. Or maybe you are? It's still shown in my... Wait, does the dagger also have... Oh yeah, okay. Well, that's kind of dumb, but alright. So apparently you're able to put a lit torch away and then equip it again for some reason. Sure. Yeah, is that the let me see. That's the durability of the dagger, right? Yeah, 48 out of 60. Current durability. At 0, items break and become ineffective. Durability is restored by resting at a bonfire, but a broken item must be repaired first. Oh, okay. Very interesting. I like that. I really, really like that. So resting at a bonfire pretty much repairs all your stuff unless it's actually broken. And then you need to properly repair it. That's a very, very cool way of dealing with that. Because that makes it way less annoying. Not that it was ever annoying in the first game. In general, item durability is a weird thing in most Soulsborne games. I think Sekiro doesn't have it at all, right? Which is probably the best implementation that they've done. I like this one. This might actually be better. Because in Dark Souls 1 and in Bloodborne as well, item durability is just an annoyance. It doesn't serve any purpose whatsoever. It just exists, and it doesn't really consume any resources. I mean, it does, but it's so little that it might as well not do it, and, well, especially in Bloodborne, it's just completely useless. I think there's like one weapon that actually breaks really fast in Bloodborne. I know that there are weapons that break really fast in Dark Souls as well, but again, it's such a niche mechanic that it's just annoying with every other weapon. Whereas this feels a lot more useful, if they implement it correctly, right? If in most cases it actually ends up being meaningless as well, and well, I guess that's how it's going to be, but in general, the idea of this is a lot better. Let's actually jump down with a lit torch, because I don't know if there's going to be... Oh, yeah, that's... I don't have that much endurance, actually. Is there no place to light my torch, or to light it down here? Jumping attack. Oh, so that's still... Yeah, that's not easy to do at all. I guess that's where we continue? I thought there was a place to light down here, but apparently there's not. Cracked red eye orb. That also exists in the first game. I guess I'm going to see what happens when the timer runs out. Oh, you can actually close it back up? That's interesting. Well, that's... Yeah, I was wondering about that. So I think that's... The problem is maybe the PlayStation 5 controller has like a different dead zone or something. Yeah, okay, now it works. I think you have to... that is really inconsistent. Let's actually try out the life gem. That's healing quite a bit. It's healing a lot more than I thought it would. Well, cool, I guess. But yeah, being deprived at the beginning actually feels like you're properly managing your resources. Like, it's a lot more interesting, I feel like, than just purely, like, starting with really cool weapons from the beginning. I don't know how this is meant. Like, I had 5 minutes of my torch. Oh god. Yeah. They didn't really account for the PlayStation 4 and 5 having a lot. Like, isn't this a PlayStation 4 game? Why the fuck is the LOD distance set to this? Whatever. It's quite a beautiful game compared to the first one. So that's really annoying that they now load it in. Weird. Yeah, I don't know how this is meant to work. I wonder if they'll give you more... Who are you? You look weird. So I already went there. Ugh. Oh, that's one of the, like, the curse things from the first game. So I guess this is just meant to show you what awaits you within or something? Interesting. Once again, the game doesn't really explain why fog doors are a thing. Right? Like, why are there fog doors? At least in Demon Souls, they mention there being a fog at the beginning of the game. Here, they just don't. They just exist for some reason. I mean, well, at least this tutorial area seems to suggest that the fog doors are meant to be, I guess, level separators of some sort, right? As long as you don't traverse it, the enemies on the other side don't really attack or aggro you. But at the same time, yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird thing. Let me look at this one, though. Invade other worlds. Defeat the master of the world you have invaded to acquire a token of spite. The residual sins of those who have succumbed to dark temptations are contained in the form of the cracked red-eye orb. Alright, so that's used to invade other worlds. It's interesting that they give you one so early, suggesting that you might actually be able to invade other worlds from here. I wonder if it would be useful to actually try it at this point. The sound transitions are a bit weird from time to time. Also, I can already hear the lizard thing moving about, but for some reason, yeah, I don't know. Seems a bit inconsistent. Huh. I thought this was an enemy at first, but apparently it isn't. Why did you turn to stone? A statue blocks your way. Oh, you literally can't. Yeah, see? So the sound, like, the sound already thinks that I'm in the cave while I'm rolling against this. Why? I guess their sound engine isn't really meant for transitions all that well. So do I have to... I have a feeling this is somehow connected to torches. Which would mean that I have to get back a torch. Wait, so I went through here, and that got me up there somewhere? Maybe I have to grab something from here? This almost feels like it's leading to your first boss. Maybe it isn't. Kind of want to two-hand my weapon though. You can block with this as well, yeah. Oh, what the... They faded in really, really late. Yeah, I don't like the sound. That's... This place again? Okay, that's a player-made message. Why again? Oh god. Yeah, this feels like your first sort of small boss encounter. Now the real fight begins, good luck. Guess I can rate this. So is there a way to so this is the read history. Interesting that something like that exists. And this way I can write one myself. I don't see any enemy though. Hurrah for ring. By the way, good luck. Liar ahead. Oh, that was weird. I thought the lighting would have been... I mean, it is a lot better than in the first game, but it still has a lot of problems when transitioning between areas. Wait, are people, like, baiting somebody back here? Why are there bloodstains in here? If the fight's out there. Wait, what? Am I missing an enemy? Is there supposed to be somebody here? Don't give up, skeleton. Death ahead. I guess people are running back here. It's weird that you... I guess... We'll be able to return here at some point, I hope. There's a lot of messages here, though. Hope ahead. Whoa, this is really bright. Wow. It looks Majula. Wait, isn't this the hub area of the game? Wow, it looks really good. It actually has decent depth of field as well. Wait, this is physically connected to the cave, though, that we were in, right? So, Who was everybody fighting in the cave? Doesn't seem to be anybody here. I guess you can return to it at some point. There's actually music. This tree looks a bit out of place. There was an item back here, huh? Divine blessing. Honestly, so far, the game actually gives me more Zelda vibes than Dark Souls. Fully restores HP and cures all status effects. Holy water endowed with a divine blessing. Water blessed by an ancient goddess. Her name is long forgotten, and the Magic Academy of Melthia denies even her existence. In any age, there are those who refuse to see reason. It is their meddling that distorts the truth. Those who refuse to see reason, meaning the Magic Academy of Melthia, because they deny her existence even though it does heal? Interesting. I don't know, I actually have a block next to me, and I thought that it might be interesting to write things down. I completely sort of forgot about that at this point. I don't know if I want to do that. That seems like a bit of an overkill. I kind of want to try to remember things. Door ahead by the way, man? What? are people dying here? This seems like it's leading somewhere completely different. What the hell is happening? What? Why are there so many blood stains? That's freaking me out. I don't know. I have a feeling that you're able to pretty much, like, explore this place anyway, right? So I kind of want to go... Because that's one thing that I know, right? That's always... Sort of this background, this whole area is always what you see most. If you just look at streams, I guess. Boulder. Yay! Wow, they actually have... I mean, well... The reflections aren't really perfect, but... Still looks very natural in a certain kind of way. The game looks way, way better than the first one. Way better! Like, to the point where it does feel like the first game actually came out on PlayStation 2. Huh. Seems very deserted, though. Very calming. I like the music. There's a lot of branching paths as well. Who are you? There's definitely people here. I guess let's rest at it. Yeah, so you can just go back there. Interesting. I wonder why there's the one down there. Is that just to indicate that that it's sort of the first location that you found in that particular place? Also, the like in general, the fidelity of the graphics are just a lot better than in the first game. I didn't actually expect such a huge jump. Who are you? Are you alive?
Who are you?
I was asking first.
Matter. Just help me open this door.
He seems a bit
I
quiet.
packed my tools in here, seeing it was vacant. But now somebody's gone and locked the door.
What? Couldn't you just... I mean, the window doesn't... You can just... He seems like he's given up on life. It's locked. So that seems to be the smith, probably? Does look like it, and I have to get a key for the door.
I'm a blacksmith. I'm nothing without my tools. Bring me that key. Chop chop.
Okay. Sure, buddy. Soul of a Nameless Soldier. 3 life gems. Nice. Let's equip those. Yeah, it's interesting that I wonder if Estus even exists. I was kind of taking it for granted that it would exist in this game as well. But maybe it actually doesn't. Oh wait, I have to go here, right? Life gem. God, I already... Like, I hate to say it, because I know people will disagree with me, but remember, I'm really, really early in the game. But the early game feel of Dark Souls 2 is light years. And I'm talking literal light years ahead of Dark Souls 1. This feels a lot more coherent. A lot more like people have actually thought about what they implemented here. Although the tutorial area definitely isn't perfect. I feel like it's a bit too much, almost. But the rest of it is really cool. Wow, there's like a giant statue over there. I mean, the trees there in the distance are a bit questionable, but the rest looks cool. Who are you? And the character models are actually decent in this as well. I like you.
Are you the next monarch?
I doubt it.
Or merely a pawn of fate?
Probably.
Bearer of the curse. I will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters. Take this with you. May it ease your journey.
Estus Flask. Who are you?
Go on and see the king. He who made Drangleic what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrick.
You may level up by the power of the Emerald Herald. So that's her? I mean, your level up mates are always the cutest, right? But alright, so there is a King Vendrick who apparently led this kingdom at some point, or still does. The way she's looking over there makes me think that that's his sort of throne world. But this world is definitely, I mean, all the buildings are destroyed, right? Which we already kind of learned that this is like a fallen kingdom, I guess. The music seems very loud, doesn't it? Or maybe that's just me.
Bearer of the curse, seek misery. For misery will lead you to greater, stronger souls.
Makes sense.
You will never meet the king with a soul so frail and pallid.
Okay, so I need to get stronger. Well, I suspected as much.
Seek those whose names are unutterable. The four endowed with immense souls.
Okay, 4 again.
Their souls will serve as beacons. Once you have found them, return here to me, so that hope will not fade away.
Alright, that's our objective then. Get 4 great souls. I mean, again, straightforward enough. A bit... I just find it weird that we just turn up here, right? We're some, to our knowledge, some random person with a curse, right? And considering what those Firekeeper ladies said, or former Firekeepers, there's quite a lot of people who go hollow here, right? So it's kind of weird that now we're talked to like she knows us, or she knows who we might be, or who we might be able to be. It's very interesting that there isn't, like, she just takes us for granted somehow.
Bearer of the curse, seek souls, larger, more powerful souls. Seek the king. That is the only way. Lest this land swallow you whole, as it has so many others.
Ah, and we can also upgrade our Estus Flask with her. Give Estus Flask shards. Alright, so that's the same as in the first game, right?
Over the hill and past the forest is the king's castle.
So that's there, where she's looking.
Where a man peered straight into the essence of the soul. But whatever came of it?
Well, nothing good, apparently. So the king tried something with souls. Either he himself just wanted to get strong, or maybe he was some kind of researcher or something, and peered into the essence of the soul. And that apparently, I mean, at least that's what she sort of suggests, is that it brought about the fall of the kingdom. potentially? Or maybe it just made him incredibly strong and he just didn't care anymore what happened to his kingdom or something? Okay, 500 for one level up. So this is HP, and then Vit is HP and equip load. Wait, 778. Oh, that's just a very slight increase to HP, okay. I wonder if equip load works the same in this game. Does it actually say anything? Let's see. Maximum weight that can be equipped. Movement slows as your equipped load approaches maximum. Okay, interesting description, considering that in Dark Souls 1, which is a very, very weird mechanic, by the way. Well, the mechanic itself is not weird. The way it works, though, in terms of numbers, is very weird. So, in Dark Souls 1, you have a maximum equipment load, right? You can't put items on that are heavier than your equipment. At least I think you can't, right? Put items on that are heavier than your equipment load. But already at over 25%, which is not much at all, right? Over 25%, you already reduce your movement speed and you roll a lot slower, like considerably slower. So it's kind of weird that you have, like, I think you even start with a pretty high equipment load, kind of, in Dark Souls 1, right? And already at 25%, you move a lot slower. And then I think sort of the slowest that you move is already at 50%. I'm not 100% on that. That's just what I remember. But I definitely remember it kind of being weird in Dark Souls 1, because I felt like you should pretty much have your maximum movement speed for a very long time. Or at least the transition should be a lot more gradual, right? So, like, maybe transition at like 20%, 40%, 60%, 80% or something, rather than 25, 50, and then nothing after that. At least that's what I remember and what it felt like. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting what it is here. I don't know. Do I already want to level up? Equipment load, vigor. I could just go with a bit more HP. Although HP seemed fairly high for the tutorial, at least. Definitely want to get more stamina, though, right? Because I could already, at least with the dagger that I have currently, I was running out of stamina pretty quickly. Okay. Strength. This doesn't do much currently. Dexterity would increase my weapon. I guess that's because it's still a very low value, that the other values don't change. It still shows what does change, though. Wow, that's a pretty high increase to magic defense, though. And that's a pretty high increase to lightning defense. To be honest, let's just go with the standard HP. Oh, no, not HP. Let's go with stamina. That's the one thing that I felt like I actually need. Yes. Now, again, question being, why can she level us up anyway? I don't know.
Those who come to Drang Lake seeking salvation soon lose hope and turn hollow.
That's what we've already heard.
It happens to them all, sooner or later.
It's a bleak outlook.
That blue knight at the base of the tower, his spirit is already broken.
What blue knight? What?
Although he does offer sound advice.
Is there a question?
Perhaps he is a foreshadowing of your own future.
The tower? I think she's referring to that tower over there. So that sounded like there is a crestfallen warrior in this as well.
That tiny thing inside the ruins. An ancient being that will mock your very existence.
Tiny thing inside the room?
She imparts sound wisdom. Provided you find her on a good day.
I don't know what you're talking about, lady.
The sign you bear will drain your very souls. And without souls, you will turn hollow. Stay strong. Do not lose hope. Even when you have precious little time,
So one thing that I very much liked in the first game, and that I like here as well, is that the dark sign as a possibility to return to your last rested bonfire while draining your souls. That's what you mentioned there, right? And it does make, well, whether or not it makes sense in this universe remains to be seen, but it's really cool that it's part of the lore, right? The dark sign is a curse, and it drains your soul. Meaning that if you actually use it, you will return to a bonfire, but you will lose your souls.
For when the undead dies, it is never truly dead, but only one step closer to hollowing. Not all undead are hollows, but all hollows were once undead.
Okay. Interesting point there as well. So one sort of, well, is it a theory anymore? I think it's pretty much confirmed at this point, right? That essentially, well, that's what I kind of know about the lore, or I don't know if that's actually true or if that's just what people sort of accept as the truth now, but the thing is that you traveling through the game is a journey to break the curse, right? And if you die, you turn hollow, and if you essentially give up on the game, if you don't continue playing, you're one of the hollows that wasn't able to complete the journey, right? And only the people who actually play through the game are the ones that will break the curse, essentially. Which is kind of a cool way to look at it. The only thing that I think is a bit, well, not necessarily problematic, but certainly unfortunate, I feel like there should be a bigger mechanic connected to you dying. And they attempted something like that in Sekiro, right? The more you die, the more of those rot essences exist within the world. So you're you repeatedly dying and being resurrected by that dragon force that exists within Sekiro, like the divine dragon's blood, means that the rest of the world has to suffer because of you, essentially, right? Now, it's like, I never died that much in Sekiro to actually make that, I don't know whether or not the rot essences in Sekiro actually ever kill anybody, right? The most I accumulated at one point, I think, was 6 rot essences or something, but there's 1 million of those dragon blood droplets in the game that reverse that. So I don't know if you can actually kill NPCs by repeatedly dying. That being said, though, both in Bloodborne and Dark Souls 1, I think there isn't any kind of mechanic beyond your first death, right? So in Dark Souls 1, you turn hollow if you die, but that's it. You're just hollow. And if you die again, you just stay hollow. So, considering that repeatedly dying, at least in the lore, seems to mean that you turn more and more hollow, it has this meta meaning, I guess, this meta level where you, the player, turn more and more hollow as you repeatedly die because it becomes increasingly challenging and time-consuming to complete the game. But I wish that there was an actual in-game measurement of how hollow you are, right? Again, comparable to the rot essences in Sekiro. I thought that was a very neat thing. I thought that just the consequences of that, and also the overall, it sort of appears in Sekiro, but it's never really elaborated upon all that much. It's just sort of there as a mechanic. And unless it actually kills NPCs after your 100th death or something, I mean, I think the most I died was probably when I was fighting Lady Butterfly or something. and I died, or maybe the like fire demon thing that the sculptor turns into later. Spoilers, by the way. At that point, I think, yeah, while fighting Lady Butterfly, I think I might have died maybe 30 times, something like that. So either you have to die like an insane amount of times to actually make that mechanic mean anything, or it doesn't mean anything, which, I don't know, both options seem kind of weird. And I get that they don't just want to kill off an NPC as punishment for you dying repeatedly, right? That seems incredibly cruel. So I'm glad that apparently they don't do that. But, that being said, I still think that it would be really, really cool if there would be some sort of like deeper mechanic behind that. And I don't think that it exists in this game, although maybe it does.
Shard, bring it to me, so that I may ease your burden. Over the hill and past the forest, where a man peers at whatever.
Alright, so she repeats the things. That's cool. Yeah, the only thing weird about this is how willingly she accepts that we are apparently somebody who might be able to help her or be on a journey or whatever. That is a bit weird. Try jumping and then hurrah for armor. What? Yeah, I don't know if that's a fake message or a real one. Oh, that's our shadow. Yeah. The lighting definitely isn't perfect, but, well, that can be excused, right? I mean, it is still a PS3 era game. Shouldn't forget that. It's just that the first game was in such a bad technical state, or the remaster is, at least, that it's refreshing to see that this game is actually kind of makes sense. So you're the warrior, I assume she was talking about?
You're undead, aren't you?
Is that the same voice actor as Crestfallen 1?
Scent, the smell of irreversible fate. This is Majula. It is a kind of settlement. A place where life is almost normal. And in Drang Lake these days, there are very few places like that.
Okay. That tower is really far away, by the way. Huh. Weirdly enough, she talked about a forest, right? It doesn't really look like a forest from here, to be completely honest. There's not nearly enough trees for it to be counted as a forest, but alright. It's kind of a shame that they always... I mean, I know that that's because of technical limitations, that the background is blurred like that. It's still kind of a shame, right? It does look a bit unnatural, and also it takes away a bit from it, like... It looks really cool, and you really want to know what it looks like, but I almost preferred if they had, I guess, introduced a bit more fog or clouds instead of it just being blurred. I don't know.
I am Solden.
Solden?
And like you, I lost everything, and now I'm here.
Did I lose everything? I don't really know my past.
Heard that it was possible to break the curse here. Well, that's not true at all. There's nothing here for you, me, or anybody.
Well, sick. I can just stop playing the game then. I mean, not that I want to, but, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what we gathered so far, right? There is, like, somehow we got afflicted by a curse. We don't know why, we don't know where we came from, really. but we do know that somehow we knew that this place was able to lift the curse. And he apparently attempted the same and failed.
Do you know much about souls? Even I'm not certain, but I'm told that the soul is the essence of life itself. Anything living, sentient or no, supposedly has one.
Yeah.
What we call the curse is traceable to the soul. Do you see what that means? To be alive, to walk this earth. That's the real curse, right there.
Wow.
We undead will never die. And that's quite a predicament, really.
Well, you're depressed, aren't you? Wait, there was one thing that I wanted to check just now, but I kind of forgot with his next sentences. So, wait, what was I trying to check? Huh.
There are 4 beings in this land with giant souls. And wherever you go from here, you'll sooner or later come up against them. Each has a powerful soul and a terrible curse. If that frightens you, then you ought to just give up right now, like I have.
I mean, this does seem like quite a peaceful place. I can't really blame you for just staying here. Be completely honest, I mean, if you can't die, well, I mean, it doesn't really seem to be a good life, but if you can't die, then I guess this is better than repeatedly bashing your head against, like, strong enemies or something? I don't know. So 4 souls. One thing that I also like is that the setup straight up is a lot better than in the first game. That whole thing with having to ring 2 bells in the first game is really weird, right? I mean, the first, the 2 bells are kind of supposed to represent that you were able to overcome those particular challenges in your journey, I guess, right? That's what the bells are, or what they suggest, or what they represent in the first game. But they're sort of arbitrary, right? It could literally be, oh, you have to light 2 statues, you have to, I don't know, cut down 2 trees, you have to, I don't know, sing a song at 2 locations, right? It's them being bells. I don't know. I mean, I could be missing stuff here, right? But I didn't really find anything in the first game that would suggest, well, anything really towards why there are bells there that you have to ring, right? It just seems very strange that there are bells that exist. And they're just there. And you ring them and something happens. But why did you ring them? Why are there bells? Right? What is cool is that you can hear other players ring the bells when you're close to them. So there's, like, design-wise, they're still cool. I just wish that there was an actual reason why there is 2 bells. This already seems to make a lot more sense. The soul is cursed, and there are 4 giant souls that apparently have something to do with it. They also have 4 giant or very potent curses attached to them or something, right? Makes a lot more sense than just, oh yeah, ring 2 bells. I won't tell you why, but ring 2 bells. Whereas here, you know, it's a clear outset. We are cursed. The curse is attached to our soul, and there's 4 souls that are somehow connected to it. Obviously, there's still more that we need to find out, but, right? I mean, am I the only one thinking that it makes a lot more sense in terms of a story that is supposed to be told here? Rather than that's one of my biggest gripes with the first game as well, is that from the get-go, you feel like what you're doing is just pointless, right? You're doing it because it's the game is called Dark Souls, it's supposedly a good game, and you're playing through it because, well, at least in my opinion, right, it's definitely a piece of gaming history, and everybody should have at least attempted to play through it. But the game itself provides very little reason why you should actually play through it. That's already much, much better here as well.
Do you ever cry out for help? The journey of an undead is long and treacherous. You'll face invaders from other worlds at every turn.
Well,
If you need help, why not proclaim faith in the Blue Sentinels?
oh, that's why she called him a blue warrior,
When
right?
you face danger, the Blue Sentinels will come to your aid. Protection is yours, if you wish. You need only accept their kind embrace.
Join the Way of Blue Covenant. Well, I mean, if they offer help, I don't know. Is there a downside to it? Well, again, another comparison to the first game. The Covenants in the first game are weird. I know that they're mainly connected to PvP, I think. And that might be true here as well, at least, well, it kind of suggests that as well. Not necessarily being connected to PvP, but definitely to the whole cooperation and invading mechanic. And that's sort of fine. The first game was just very inconsequential, I felt like. Just playing through the game normally, the Covenants didn't seem to make any sense at all. They just existed, right? I mean, I know, obviously, they do mean a lot more, and there's quite a lot you can find out about them, and their gameplay meaning and stuff like that. But the game itself, right, if you're not looking at a wiki or anything, really, doesn't really tell you anything about the Covenants, and they literally don't seem to do anything while you're in game. So I wonder if this is going to be different here. I also, like, the fact that you can just willy-nilly switch Covenants in the first game also doesn't really make sense to me. There should, I mean, I know that I think switching them sort of resets your progress with the other Covenants, I think. But, yeah, I don't know. Again, the game itself doesn't really tell you all that much. Do I want to join his Covenant? It does sound pretty good, right? By the way, I kind of want to make this clear here. I'm not really above summoning 8 for boss fights or anything. Not necessarily because I always need it, but simply because I want to know what it's like, right? It's part of the game, and it's sometimes just interesting seeing. I wish, for example, in the first game, again, I said that before, right? I went through most of the first game being hollowed because I felt like there wasn't really any meaning to restoring your humanity in terms of gameplay, right? But if you do restore your humanity, you can summon 8, right? And I think there's definitely branching paths what you can do with Sunbro, right, in the first game. And I didn't really do all that much with him. So let's join his Covenant. I mean, getting help sounds pretty good, to be honest. Blue Seal. Entered Covenant.
That is a wise decision. People are weak, but the Blue Sentinels watch over us in their benevolence. Let the Sentinels cradle you in their embrace.
Sounds like a bit more than what I want, to be completely honest, and considering the state you are in, the help seemingly doesn't really mean all that much, right? I mean, if at the end of the day you're sitting here just being all depressed and essentially giving up on life, then I don't know how helpful the Covenant really is, but
do you feel lonely here?
Not really, I mean...
Just fine, as I've nothing left anyway.
By the way, they have a lot of dialogue here.
Grow on you, this place. Give it some time.
Yeah, I'd imagine it will. Oh. Learn gesture. Crestfallen Soldan. Welcome. Nice.
Do you see the way beyond the bonfire? That will take you to the forest of the giants.
Probably the forest in front of the castle.
Great fort, but little of it remains. You may just find something there that will be of use on your journey.
Okay, pointing us in the first direction, I guess.
Far inside, or you might not come back.
There is a lot of information that they give you here.
Hade's Tower of Flame lies beyond the far gate.
Is that the Great Tower?
The Apostles of Blue gather. But the road leading there is perilous. The gate is rigged with some contraption. But how it works, I just don't know. Have you seen that pit, that gaping hole in the earth?
Not really.
I don't know what it's like down below, but I wouldn't suggest trying to find out.
But we can, apparently?
Besides, you'll never make it down there.
Oh.
Without a ladder of some sort. The flame you see there is a bonfire. They exist all across the land, beacons to we undead. If you are tired, try resting beside the flame. The flame heals us.
Why, though?
Long ago, a woman called a firekeeper watched over each bonfire. She kept the flame lit and guarded it from those who would extinguish it. I wonder where the firekeepers went.
That's already a mystery in the first game, right? So, the way they're talking about firekeepers in this seemingly seems to suggest that it takes place a fairly long time after Dark Souls 1. Which would make sense, considering that it's Dark Souls 2. But I know that there's some weird time shenanigans going on in the Dark Souls lore. I don't know much about it, but I wonder how that connects to the first game. But it is already a mystery to me in the first game, because the first game as well talks about firekeepers watching over fires, right? And Firelink Shrine in particular, there is a firekeeper for some reason imprisoned below it, right? And she seems to watch over the fire. And there's actually other firekeepers in the game as well. In Anor Londo, for example. There is a firekeeper right next to the bonfire. But most bonfires don't have a firekeeper. And at least to my knowledge, that's never really addressed in any sort of way in the first game either. They never really talk about, well, why aren't there other firekeepers? Or are there other firekeepers and they're just not really close to their bonfire? Or are most bonfires left alone because there aren't that many firekeepers left already in Dark Souls 1? That's definitely something that isn't really addressed, at least to my knowledge, from what I found out in the first game. And again, maybe at some point I'll go back to it and try to find out more, but yeah. That's definitely an interesting point, right? That there seems to be this disconnection between, well, bonfires still exist and they also still work, right? That's the big thing here. The bonfires still work. We can light them and they stay lit, but there's no firekeepers attached to them. I wonder how that works.
Notice any letters on the ground on the way here? These are messages that have jumped the fissures between worlds.
Ooh, actually, explanation to that.
In Drang Lake, the flow of time is convoluted. Things shift and waver, twist and turn. Poignant wishes, Dash, dreams, the messages convey our very inner thoughts. If your will to soldier on falters, try leaving a message. Somebody out there is sure to listen.
Once again, I like this. I know some people probably didn't like it, because it's probably a lot of fun sort of speculating about this mechanic, what it means, if it even sort of exists in universe. But him addressing the messages here quite directly, and also explaining that there is some time shenanigans going on, it just makes sense, right? And it also, and let me explain why that makes sense, in my opinion. The reason why anybody would ever leave a message is literally means that they're doing it because they know somebody's able to read it, right? Why would you ever leave a message if you don't know that it actually exists and continues to exist? Him saying that these messages can traverse time and space, essentially, and entering, I guess, what would be like a parallel universe in like a multiverse theory, whatever, then suddenly it becomes like leaving messages actually has meaning, right? In universe. Without that knowledge, why would you ever leave a message? Right? Now, I guess you could argue the existence of messages from other players would prompt you to think, oh, right, I can leave messages and maybe somebody else will read them. I don't know. Him actually explaining that makes a lot more sense, in my opinion, than not, I guess, not knowing about this message thing, right? Oh, hi there. I mean, I can see a lot of people liking the non-explanation that these messages get in the first game more. I like that there is an actual explanation to them here.
You may notice symbols that appear upon the ground. These are summon signatures. They call upon spirits from other worlds through the schisms in time. If you fear hollows, find summon signatures to call upon spirits there be.
Although now, they're over-explaining a bit much here. I mean, I don't mind you being here, of course, but I don't want to have anything explained if you're talking about that. I want to find everything out by myself. But yeah, I mean, this I don't know at this point. I feel like there's a bit of over-explanation here. There's a lot of dialogue that could have been spaced out a lot more. But at the same time, I do like that the dialogue exists. Makes a lot more sense, in my opinion, compared to the first game.
Beyond the bonfire. That will take you to the forest.
I already had that, right? Yeah. So now he's repeating his lines. I mean, this is just a gameplay thing, but I kind of wish that you would be able to like talk about different topics with them, kind of in an Elder Scrolls style dialogue selections thing. I go back and forth on that. Sometimes I feel like it's cool that they just sort of makes them feel more human, I guess. That they just willy-nilly talk about anything, really.
May you find peace on your journey.
But at the same time, getting the specific sentences back that you want to hear something about is sometimes a bit of a struggle. Wow. That is 396,108,893 deaths worldwide. I wonder if this started when the game was released. I wonder if this is actually accurate, or if it's referring to a certain specific number of deaths. The letters of one beyond recognition. Praise the sun in short visions of friend. Oh yeah, thank you for helping. I really appreciate that. But I feel like, I feel like there isn't really going to be anything that I really want to know. Unless I started like a New Game Plus run or anything, then at that point, obviously, I probably want to know everything there is. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be something here. There's a lot to discover at the beginning of the game. Bit too much, in my opinion. Because at this point, we haven't really done anything. I mean, I haven't even really completed the tutorial area because I ran out of torch. So they went hard on explaining a lot of stuff here. Oh right, there's one thing that I wanted to check. So the torch doesn't get restored by resting at a bonfire. Well that's a shame. Is New Game Plus way more difficult? Because in Bloodborne it sure wasn't. I mean, well, it depends, right? If you go to, like, New Game Plus 7, doesn't it stop scaling at some point or something? I mean, I guess it depends on the bosses and stuff. Oh, it actually shows the Covenant. That's quite neat. I like the visual indication of showing the Covenant on your HUD there. At least suggesting that they play a bigger role in this game. Doesn't show up anywhere else though, right? Probably when you rest at the bonfire? No? Well, maybe that will appear later. The first game had like a Covenant switching option at the bonfire, right? Well, yeah, I kind of figured, but, you know, be sure to not let me know too much. That's stuff that I definitely, like, gameplay and mechanic stuff I definitely also want to find out on my own. There has to be, like, a way to restore. I guess I found a torch, it restored 5 minutes to it. I wonder if there's going to be more like that. Do I want to get bullied in the DLCs? Are they that difficult? I mean, the DLCs are probably still very far away, considering that I just started. Guess let me see if there's anything else here. A lot of branching paths already. Oh. I see. So this looks like the hole that the Crestfallen was talking about. Very reminiscent of that one particular level in Bloodborne. This just looks like you can jump down, though. He was talking about some sort of letter that you might need. Interesting statues here as well. There's a puzzle DLC? That sounds really interesting. I definitely would have liked to have more actual puzzles in the first game. That was where the first game was definitely lacking a lot. I mean, there's a lot of mystery, obviously, in a lot of places, but, you know, puzzles, not so much. Although, well, it sort of depends on what you would define as a puzzle, I guess. Buttons to find some sort of secret. Yeah, that sure sounds like a cool puzzle. I think I would definitely enjoy that. Kinda want to find a torch to go back to the tutorial area. Huh. There's somebody else. This looks like a smithing place as well. But you look more like a sorcerer type.
Hello there. Welcome to my shop. I'm Morlin, and I sell armor. Oh, sorry, Please do have a look at my wares.
So you're an armorer?
I could really use the business. If you'd be so kind.
Yeah, that's sometimes that's why I always kind of struggled with in the first game, or I guess in FromSoft games in general. I feel like the puzzles more often than not aren't actually puzzles, they're just mysteries, I guess you could define them as, meaning that it's something that is really annoying to find out and not actually a proper puzzle. Well, I guess then that's good for you. But I do like, I mean, if they're fair puzzles, like if there's actually a chance you can find out how they work, then that's fine. But they, you know, a lot of games tend to have obscure, well, not a lot of games. Most games have insultingly easy puzzles. But sometimes games just have puzzles that are annoying, not challenging. That's always... I mean, I guess it's a hard thing to design, right? If I had to design a puzzle, it would probably be really, really hard to figure out exactly where... I guess it requires a lot of QA testing to find out whether or not a puzzle is actually good or not, right? I mean, certainly if you have a lot of experience designing them, then I guess... you know, you could probably just, you would know which things would be more annoying than others and stuff like that. But overall, a lot of games tend to struggle with that, I think. Like, most games shy away from it completely and just, you know, the puzzles are insultingly easy because they don't want to offend anybody. And then there are other games who make them so obscure that you can't even really discover them without looking them up online or anything, which is also dumb in my opinion. But then again, you know, I've never really tried designing stuff like that myself, so it's certainly not the most, certainly not the easiest thing, I would say. Yeah, I wonder how easy or hard backstabbing is in this. I mean, the tutorial teaches you at least a lot better than in the first game. The first game has some interesting enemies where I feel like backstabbing is way too easy. And then in other areas it's kind of just weird. Wait, why wouldn't an NPC attack you? Or is that sort of... I guess could be some sort of special NPC. Alright, let's see. So he's selling shields and armor. Small shield. Iron Palmer. Silver Eagle Kite Shield. That looks cool. Twin Dragon Great Shield. 20 strength, and they require 10. A wooden great shield featuring twin dragons. Quite light for this size of shield. One requires strength to handle a great shield, but they are very stable. In battle, one fights using shield bash instead of parrying. 90, that's 95% physical reduction, right? Yeah, I'm still not really sure what I want to go with. I do like shields. But the dagger is also really fun, surprisingly fun. I usually don't like playing daggers or that sort of stuff in RPGs, like small weapons. Usually tend to go for bigger ones, but maybe it might be time for that. Has a pointed top designed for ease of use while on horseback. There aren't any horses here, right? Maybe? The unusual design suggests a foreign origin. Lightweight despite its iron construction and sturdy despite its small size, but not sufficient to protect one from real danger. I mean, that is 85% damage reduction, right? Or absorption. Percentage of physical damage reduced. Still quite a lot compared to this being 95, 85. One thing that's also interesting to me, so I think, well, in the first game, they make it sound like everybody you encounter is also sort of sent on the same quest, and therefore also seeking souls. In this, like, why do the merchants take souls as a currency? I wonder. I mean, yes, souls play an integral part in this world, but that is one thing that, at least so far, hasn't really been explicitly stated as to why that might be. Standard helm, so these are things that you might have gotten if you choose another origin, right? I don't know if I want to get into all the item descriptions just yet.
I came from the west, from Volgan.
Oh, that's the armor he sells.
Have you been there? It's a lively place, vibrant with trade. Very competitive, of course. And you have to grease the wheels to get anywhere. But I didn't have the funding for that, so I left home in hopes of striking gold. It's been years since then, and I've made very little headway. I don't even know why I'm still here.
Boy.
Everything's all run down and dying. It's terrible for business, really.
Well, why not go back then? If everything's terrible here? Oh, that's it's unfortunate to hear that the hit. Well, I mean, I guess it's still a FromSoft game at the end of the day, right? The hitboxes probably aren't that perfect, or what they appear to be. So far, they seem fine, but I've only fought like little hollow things here and there.
A group calling themselves the Blue Sentinels have gained much power in Volgan. You can't even run a shop without their blessing.
Oh.
They claim to be working for the greater good, but it's absolute hogwash.
Maybe I should have talked to him before joining them? Oopsie. Yeah, that, well...
Oh, by the gods, why the hell am I here?
Okay.
Well, I do hope I see you again.
Well, I kind of hope that you stay here and not just suddenly vanish. Armor looks very shiny, though. What's this here? Ooh. Secret item? are these books? Why is it standing there upside down? Is that on purpose? Wonder if these are books about smithing, or did he bring them with him? He's still looking at me. Probably wondering if I snatch his item. Titanite shard. So they still exist as well. Interesting. They probably also do the same thing, I'd wager. Oh, wait. Maybe? Oh. Blue seal. Covenant ring for Apostles of Blue. I didn't notice that I got a ring. Oh, this is upgrade materials and Titanite shard. Reinforces equipment up to +3. I think that's the same in the first game, right? Titanite was discovered in an ancient layer of earth and is said to be a gift of the gods. Titanite of this size has very little power, but it is still a rare find. Ancient layer of earth. I mean, that could mean anything and nothing, really. Could just literally be a rare earth thing, akin to coal. Not that that's, too rare, but... And then the ring, Covenant ring from Apostles of Blue. Increases HP slightly. Would that make sense, I guess? Considering what the Covenant is all about? The Way of Blue is not a developed religion. It is a humble prayer that spread naturally amongst those seeking help. When Apostles of Blue are invaded by dark spirits, they can receive assistance from masters of other worlds. Okay, meaning that you can't receive assistance without this ring? Wow. Wait, what's wrong with the paw? Oh. Yeah, an actual bear. But I have 5. I mean, I guess you're right. I was actually considering that, or well, when I drew it, I was actually considering whether or not I should give it 4 or 5, but I thought 5 just looked better, to be honest. Wait, did it automatically equip the ring though? No, it didn't. Wait, did they also increase? They didn't, right? Now they actually have, they add to your equipment load. And, at least finally, they've also introduced a percentage. I think that was missing in the first game, right? They didn't show the actual percentage. I remember having to calculate that myself, whether or not it would go over a certain threshold or barrier. Oh wait, one thing that I want to check though. So I have 778 HP, and with the ring, that's 801. Well, guess it's better than nothing. I do speak German, yeah. Is it that apparent? Okay, yeah. Well, I figured. It's kind of hard to lose that side of the accent, I guess. Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, you probably mean it's the same with a lot of other European nations. I feel like in general, you mostly hear where they're from, even if their English is really good. Or maybe that as well, yeah. If you're German, you also are probably will recognize other English speakers that are German as well. But yeah, I have a feeling, you know, especially with like the northern countries, like Sweden, Norwegian fellas, but also from the Netherlands, people, usually you can sort of figure out at least like the sort of general area where people might be from. What are these things? What are these? What are you? Whoa! They're... Wait, why do they have so much HP? Or am I just really not that strong? Oh yeah, they're really strong. And they're also running after me. They look weird. Well, that takes longer than I thought. What the? Oh, I'm out of stamina. That stamina regen is pretty slow, I feel like. Or at least slower than I'm used to in the first game. Or I guess the thing that's that I'm not used to is probably that it just takes longer for the regen to activate. Wow. What are they? They look like little pigs, but pigs that have been, I don't know, cursed? They're a bit annoying to hit, at least with the dagger. Didn't actually want to kill you guys. Seriously. Oh. Why that? What? They're dropping red eye orbs? Why? Weird. What are they doing here? Is this message about, ring required ahead and then jumping? Oh, no, that's referring to the hole. Is there an item on that? Yeah, there is. Ah. Nice. Estus Flask Shard. Wait, do I... what? Didn't I get the Estus Flask? I completely forgot about that. Yeah. That's not automatically equipped. Very interesting. I completely forgot about that. So much dialogue to talk about with the others. Fine work, question mark? Yeah, I don't know if that was fine work, to be honest. I didn't want to kill them. Poor piglets. What are they doing here? Is this like a farm at some point and they got like cursed as well, or what's going on? There's a cat that you can talk to?
Oh, undead are we?
I didn't expect that voice.
And one without much time remaining. Just about ready to fall apart, I'd say. Not exactly the time to be chatting with a cat.
Well, excuse me for trying to be civil talking to you.
Suit yourself. Oh yes, you may call me Shalqua. Enchanté. So, what did you want anyway?
I don't know. I didn't expect to find a talking cat. There is a cat covenant? What the hell is going on here? Ring of the Evil Eye. I remember having this ring in Dark Souls 1. I don't remember where I got it from, though. Wasn't it also sold by... Isn't it sold by that weirdly laughing guy at the top of the tower next to the bell? I don't really remember. Absorb HP from defeated foe. I remember that I really liked this ring, though. A modest but inexplicably disturbing ring. Absorb HP for each enemy defeated. Peer too closely at the rare stone that forms the eye of this ring, and things that writhe and stir may come into focus. Silver Cat Ring. Reduces damage from falling? Silver ring depicting a leaping feline. So I guess you want this ring if you want to go down the hole? Well, quite convenient that it's right next to it, the vendor that sells it. Legend has it that when cats grow old, a force brews within them. They are reborn as something new. I honestly didn't expect there to be cat lore in Dark Souls 2, but I do like it. If you can't tell, I'm a cat person. Red Eye Ring. Cursed ring depicting a demon eye becomes easier to be detected by enemies. If it is tranquility that you seek, then you should never have left your home. If you seek strife, then fair enough, but no need to overdo it. So I guess you probably want this ring if you want to PvP. Easier to connect to players who chose the same god. Special ring that can be engraved with the name of a god. Becomes easier to connect to worlds of players who chose the same god. There are countless vestiges of long-lost gods in the ruins of Drunk Lake, right? Or perhaps they are the very same gods as ours, only known by different names. First I thought this was referring to covenants, so people with the same covenant would connect easier to your world, I guess. But maybe you can literally choose like a name of a god or something? Ring of Whispers. Ring worn by Roy the Explorer. Hear the inner voices of surrounding foes. Useful for locating hidden enemies, and perhaps for a few other things as well. It makes it sound like there are hidden items that you can find only by equipping this ring. Home with bone, well, I know what that means. Bonfires burn on the bones of undead, and this bone belonging to one whose journey was cut short has the power to travel to bonfires, as if it yearns to resume its futile quest. Never really realized. So essentially by dying, all the players in the world have committed a part of themselves to the bonfires that you can find, right? Slightly warm rock emits a beautiful phasing aura of 7 colors with a very rare 8th. Prism stone does nothing special, but if you feel you may lose your way, it can serve as a path marker. It's still... I don't know. I'm still not quite sure why these items are always included in the FromSoft games, because I feel like they're kind of... They don't really make sense. Because... I don't know. I mean... Do you really need a path marker? I mean, I know that, well, obviously there's no in-game map or anything, but these don't really feel all that helpful, and at the same time, there's never really overly many ways you can go. I feel like that would ever make them necessary, but I don't know. Alluring Skull. Smashing it releases traces of souls which attract nearby foes. Does not work on all enemies, but can prove useful in unexpected ways. I had those in Dark Souls 1 as well. I don't think I ever used them. Talisman used by Cleric Knights blocks Estus recovery within a limited area. Well, that seems like a PvP item, right? It is said that the Cleric Knights use these talismans to hunt down accursed undead. Cleric Knights fight with pride, and by blocking the recovery of the undead, they can also fight with impunity. I mean, then again, I also never really got invaded by NPCs in Dark Souls 1 because I was always hollow, so maybe there's a couple of NPC invaders that use Estus as well, and it might be useful for that.
This place is already dead. Everything will crumble and waste away so that something new may be born. Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, lady, you don't really sound like a cat, to be honest. Not that I have anything against that, it's just
this place is fascinating.
Interesting.
We receive only the most peculiar visitors. Folk like yourself. It's enough to keep even a cat amused.
To be honest, this place isn't too bad. I mean, except for the 3 pigs that for some reason attacked me and also were quite strong. Other than that, it's a very calming and interesting place with apparently quite a lot of interesting people. Also very talkative people as well. Maybe you should talk to each other a bit more.
Those 4 who have grown so incredibly ancient. They must have sprouted quite a thick coat of moss by now. For heaven's sake, no one even knows their names anymore. Imagine that. Yes, nothing like yourself. For you have a most pleasant scent that grows nicer with each passing day.
I don't necessarily know if that's a good thing or not. A pleasant scent. Well, I mean, we're not hollow right now. I wonder if it says something different if we're hollow. Or she says something sweet. Shalqua.
Have you made friends with the man by the sea?
The crestfallen?
He's lost everything. Absolutely everything. The only thing he's good for now is a few tidbits on covenants. Covenants are a type of, well, contract, you might say.
I mean, you talked quite a lot about that.
You give something to gain something. That's the way humans like it, right? It might be just the thing you need. But what does a cat know?
1 second. I'll be right back. Right back. Well, what type of covenant do you have, though?
Do you see that oddly formed rock behind here? Long ago,
Behind
they
the
called
building?
it Victor Stone, as I recall. If you wish to face greater challenges, speak to the rock. Although, you'd just as well not.
Supposed to literally talk to a rock? That sounds like some sort of, what's it called? Like a leaderboard of sorts? I wonder if she's referring to that.
This place is already dead.
I've heard that already, right? Yeah. So, is there another covenant that I can enter with her? Oh. No. Shows depth of devotion to covenants joined. So, this seems to suggest that covenants were quite the same way that they did in the first game. It's just that they're actually explained this time around. And you can also look at whether or not you're actually progressing in them, I guess. And you can also abandon covenants here. Okay.
Nothing suited you, I presume?
I just don't have any souls. I'm still looking for another torch, because I want to go back to the tutorial area and actually complete it. Praise the sun. Why is there a hole in the floor? Wonder if that's how the cat gets in and out of this place? What kind of rock was she talking about? There is quite a lot to look at here. I mean, I'm at the same time a big fan of this area, and also feel like the introduction could have been done a bit better. I don't know. That's definitely an area where the first game is a bit more concise. When you first get to Firelink Shrine, it's, you know, the Crestfallen is there, but that's about it. There's quite a lot to see and discover, and a lot of people to talk to. Not that that's a bad thing. I almost just wish that they had sort of staged that a bit more, right? With actual, like, I guess with each completed area, somebody being added to this whole town. I mean, I suppose there's probably going to be a lot being added to this over the course of the game, but at the same time, I do feel like it's a bit overkill when you're starting out and you listen to literally, I don't know, hours of dialogue. Well, not necessarily hours. You get what I mean, right? I mean, it's not that I'm really complaining about that. It's still pretty cool. But it's also, it is a bit overwhelming in terms of where to go next. I guess I just have to travel somewhere and see whether or not there's going to be interesting stuff there. I also just noticed, so fighting those three... Oh, hi, who are you? That looked very Bloodborne. Fighting those three pigs reduced the... reduced my dagger's, what's it called, durability by almost half. That's a lot. But alright, I think that's going to be it for now. Definitely want to continue this after lunch, but I'm going to take a lunch break as well. Want to eat something. And then I guess I'll continue. So I might be back in like an hour or two, depending. And hopefully be able to see what else there is in Dark Souls 2. I mean, so far, again, I like it. The introduction to the game, I think, in my opinion, is a lot better than the first one. But that's also because of a few other different factors. And also just the overall improvement to the environments, graphical detail, just makes the whole world a lot more intriguing from the get-go, compared to the first one where it's just very bleak and samey looking in a lot of places. But yeah, I'm going to take a lunch break. And hope you enjoyed it. If you have been watching, thanks a lot. Have a great day, evening, morning, wherever you are. Maybe I'll see you back for the next one, and until then, have a good one. Bye-bye.